What is up, all you action figure collectors out there? So I am back with another action figure review, and for today's review I'm about to be taking a look at the DC Collectibles DC Supervillain series Bizarro New 52 Bizarro figure. So here you do get that window box packaging, and here's you get some artwork of the box, some box artwork, and on the bottom you get a name of the name of the character. Here on the side you do get a picture of the figure, and in the back it shows us other figures we could collect and on the top it shows us some kind of bio. If you want, you can pause it and read it. And now I do want to say I plan on getting all of these figures as well, so I could possibly in the future do a multiverse, recreate the Justice League versus the Crime Syndicate story. And which is why I want to get these figures. And on the side you do get some nice artwork of the character of Bizarro. Okay, so now I want to say this wasn't my first choice of a Bizarro figure I wanted to get. Like I did want to get a different Bizarro figure, so I'm gonna show you a picture of that one right now. But you obviously know that in the future I'm gonna end up getting that one. Regardless. And I just want to say that what got me to want to get this figure is I all of a sudden had a dream that I owned this figure, and then all of a sudden while I was scrolling online and saw him, I was like, I should just buy him. But anyways, you obviously know I don't like spending too much time on the package, so let's get him open right now. Okay, so now here's what the figure looks outside of the package, and he doesn't come with any accessories, so we're just gonna get straight to the figure. Alright, so now looking at this figure, now straight on the spot, I do want to say that this is a terrible looking figure. Okay, I'm just kidding. This is a good looking figure. Like, I really do like the details on him. Yeah, and I don't want to say that I'm really a big fan of the new 52 look of Bizarro, but this is a nice figure. He looks like that he came straight out of the comic books. But yeah, I really love how they painted the shirt and how they painted the pants. Like, he's supposed to be like a failed clone of Superman. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be like a failed clone of Superman. And I do like how they have this kind of deformish type skin. Like, he usually looks like a zombie Superman. Also, I do really love how they sculpted the hair on him. Also, I really love this face sculpt. I really think that they did a fantastic job on him. I really like how they painted his eyes. And I love how they painted the belt to make it look like it's, the Superman suit pants. And I have heard that this figure is pretty fragile, and so far I haven't really had that problem. But I heard that these figures from this line have the tendency to break. Also, I do really love how they done these boots. They done a great job here. Like, yeah, I really love how they done these boots. Like, they look like they have some kind of Timberland type. Also, I do really like how they did this cape. It's made out of a soft material, and I don't have no paint blemishes right here. And yeah, but he feels pretty oily. Yeah. Now, I want to say that, you know, I kind of wanted to get a full-on suit Bizarro. Like, I was thinking about using a Man of Steel Superman figure to make a custom so he could wear an identical suit, but I might still end up doing that anyway. But Bizarro is not, some interpretations, Bizarro is not always wearing an identical outfit to Superman. So I could be okay with that. Okay. So now let's go over his articulation. Okay, so for articulation, it's pretty good because this was at the time when DC Collectibles were starting to step up their game with articulation. You know, I normally don't collect them because of the lack of articulation. But let's go over it. So he can look left and right. He could look down pretty decently, but he cannot really look up, which will be disappointing for flight poses, I guess. Like, and the arms could also come out about that much, and he could rotate at the arms, and he does have a bicep swivel, single hinge elbow, so he could bend at the elbow surprisingly pretty good. And he's got hinges on the hands. They're kind of loose and stiff at the same time. And like, yeah, but he can do that. He does have an ab crunch, but mine is very stiff. At first I couldn't move it at all, but now I was able to, so I would be aware of that. All right, but he does have an ab crunch, and I believe that could help with flight poses, obviously. And he has no waist swivel. He can kick forward at the leg pretty good, and he cannot really kick back. He does have a thigh cut swivel, double jointed knees, so he could bend at the knees pretty good, but he has no boot cut. He's got hinges on his feet, but his feet cannot really move up, but they could look down more farther. And he does have an ankle pivot and rotation, and obviously he has one peg hole on the bottom of his foot. So let's get into some size comparisons. Okay, so size comparison times. Now here is him standing next to a BVS Mattel San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Superman figure. And on the left we have the DC Multiverse Mattel Earth 23 Superman, because I figured why the hell not. And you could obviously see that he is, you know, he does seem to be pretty tall, which I could say is passable. I mean, sometimes Bizarro is drawn the exact same height as Superman, or sometimes he is drawn to look a little bit bigger than Superman, even though he's still listed as 6'3" when he's drawn being a little bigger than him. But I say that it's passable because, you know, because of that. I mean, plus Bizarro, he's usually not standing up straight, just like how what I said in my Cheetah review. He's usually not standing up straight half the time anyway. He's usually like crouched down or hunched over. You know, like something, you know, like, you know, like this. You know, he's usually, you know, some, ah, he won't stand, right? But he's usually in, you know, like a pose like this, you know, and I think it makes it look a lot more good. And yeah, it works. Now next up here is him standing next to a DC Multiverse Mattel Justice League Batman and the DC Multiverse Mattel 2017 Justice League Wonder Woman figure. And once again, I think the scaling works. And also, here is him standing next to two DC Icons figures. The DC Icons Lex Luthor and the DC Icons Black Adam. Because these two are also based off of the Forever Evil storyline. And again, Lex Luthor is his creator. Here is him standing next to a DC Multiverse Mattel 2018 Mattel Aquaman figure and the Shazam movie figure. Now, if you're wondering how he scales with your Marvel Legends, here is him standing next to the Core 4 Avengers. And also, here's him standing next to two of my favorite Legion of Doom member figures. The DC Essentials Cheetah and the DC Multiverse Mattel Black Manta. And last but not least, here is him with all of his Legion of Doom teammates. And yeah, we've gone this far, and now all who we need now is Solomon Grundy, and then I've rounded out my core members of the Legion of Doom. But we're not going to stop there after we get Solomon Grundy, which I might possibly get the DCUC one, and I want to actually get the figures to build him instead of buying him off of eBay. But yeah, now this is my Legion of Doom collection so far. Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention while doing articulation is that he can also do the splits pretty good. Okay, so now that will be my review. So now, my final thoughts on this Bizarro figure is that this is a horrible looking figure. I definitely do not recommend this because the pricing on this figure is horrible and the scaling is awful. Oh, okay, we're gonna put that aside. If you speak Bizarro, you would know what I mean. What I really meant was, this is actually a great looking figure. I really love the paint details and stuff, and I do love how he surprisingly scales well with normal 6-inch figures. Like, I mean, I'm okay with him showing to be a little bit taller than Superman, since sometimes that's how he's drawn in some iterations. But yeah, but I definitely would recommend this figure, because he is pretty cheap. Now I do want to say that I I I do still plan on getting that other Bizarro figure that that I just showed the picture of, and might still end up making the custom I want to do. But I'm also thinking about also wanting to get this figure again and make a custom Bizarro off of this body buck. But yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and give your feedback and critiques of this video on what I need to improve on. Alright, now this is Super Kal-El signing off.